do that.
How did you get by the laser field in the Great Hall?
Aha. The laser fields. Well...
Okay, so I'm talking to myself. Now am I not talking to myself? Dub. It just blows up. All of a sudden it goes like 0:23. Okay. Superstar. Now, there was a release of redacted warrants. What I was going to say is that I have a bunch of things to go through. How's everybody doing? Sean O'Vision, Nova Scotia Citizen, Yesy, Misfit, Dave, Peekaboo, my man Dub in the house. All right. Fucking now, bud. Kelly. My language is just foul. The warrant release. Let's start with that. Witness told any of you who have been at the protest today or whatever, maybe you guys can expound upon that. Witness told police that the mass murderer, quote, builds fires and burns bodies, is a sexual predator and supplies drugs in Portapique and economy. So, not too far off base, I don't think, other than the building fires and burning bodies. I don't think we got into that maybe too much other than kind of just some rumors maybe at the beginning, but definitely the sexual predator stuff we talked about. There is a story I do have that I haven't shared. I think I'll just keep it to myself for the time being just because it was pretty interesting. So, and I haven't been able to verify it. But it does have to do with the sexual predator component. But the drugs, most certainly, we've all talked about. Nova Scotia judge ordered some of the redactions in the search warrants related to RCMP investigation in mass murders 18th, 19th to be unredacted. Yay. They can take that marker and put it somewhere. This was in response to an application to the court by a media coalition that includes the Halifax Examiner. Thank you, Tim Bousquet. Thank you, all media who have been pitching in to David Coles, which I think it's David Coles, which is rather expensive. I don't know how much they'll get, but we've got some more for sure, which is very interesting. Anything is good things at this time. The Examiner has published the previously unredacted documents here. So I'll just drop this article right now into the, yes, it is Mr. Moneypenny, and hello. I'll drop the article in there for those of you who have not seen it. Tim Bousquet has been tweeting about it. Awesome stuff. I don't know about Paul Palango. I'm sure he is, but I just haven't been over there yet. Maybe we can go by. The new information comes primarily from people who spoke with police April 19th. One person spoke to Halifax police, the other to RCMP. Most of them were all speaking either with Halifax in conjunction with RCMP. I believe there was only one witness who spoke to Halifax solo. That was in the warrants. The names of those witnesses remain redacted. The most stunning revelation comes from one person who spoke with Halifax police. The person told, maybe they're keeping good notes. The person told police that the murderer, who examiner refers to as Gabriel Wortman, quote, builds fires, burns bodies, is a sexual predator, supplies drugs in Portapique and economy. Moreover, economy is going through my head. There's so much things. My head is just swimming with stuff over the last few days. Thank you all so much for all your tips. I'm trying not to forget them. That's the problem. Moreover, the person said that Gabriel Wortman, quote, had smuggled guns and drugs from Maine for years and stockpiled guns. Okay, those things are kind of old news, but great to have the confirmation. And Gabriel Wortman had, quote, a bag of 10,000 OxyContin, 15,000 dilaudid from a reservation in New Brunswick, which somebody just told me the name of, which I'm sad now I've already forgotten. Another person who spoke with the RCMP gave information about Gabriel Wortman's properties relating that it was known that there were several secret hiding places at the properties. Okay, we spoke about those, for some of them anyways, at least one. In particular, I don't believe I've mentioned the dungeon, quote unquote. This gets into his sexual proclivities that was located beneath the house in Portapique, and there was also a supposed room, but that also may too be a dungeon. I don't have coffee. The person said Gabriel Wortman shown another person whose name remains redacted, quote, a hidden compartment in the garage, presumably in Portapique, which was underneath the workbench, and Gabriel Wortman kept a, quote, high-powered rifle in this space. The person who spoke with RCMP said there was a false wall at Gabriel Wortman's Dartmouth residence. The information was echoed by another person who spoke with Halifax police April 19th, who said that there, quote, was a secret room in the clinic at Dartmouth, remembering that he did live there for a good deal of time upstairs there with Lisa. So I think this may have something to do with some of the other things that he's into, which may have been misunderstood and may have been misconstrued by other people. I'm just throwing that out there. May. Other information, it has come to my attention from numerous different people, though, so I'm thinking that I do place some stock in it. Other information that is newly unredacted confirms the information that is widely known before. One detail involves the killing of Gabriel Wortman. Although the document remains semi-redacted, it now reads, a peace officer member of the RCMP was also at the gas pump and recognized Gabriel Wortman. Gabriel Wortman died. The ellipsis in the original. Okay, so they don't have these spots filled in here, but this goes back to, remember I was talking about let's look at the Wikipedia entry just quickly. This has always disturbed me, how they're removing stuff. Nova Scotia 2020. And if we scroll down to the actual conclusion, the killing of supposed Wortman, again, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I don't know the individual that was killed. So let's just go with Wortman. Was stopped to refuel at the Irving Big Stop on the surface area, 92 kilometers south of Portapique, north of Halifax. Now, this is footnoted by, ooh, this is interesting. This has changed. Is it? Oh, sorry. At least one RCMP, this is the one I'm looking for. At least one officer was already there to fill up on gas, recognized and fatally shot him. And we've been through this a lot. You know, I know my videos are really long. There's a lot of stuff in them, but we've talked about this. And if you go to the actual article, you can't find any reference to fill up in there. It's totally disappeared. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Jim. What's going on? So, doo-doo-doo. So we don't have any reference in this article, but always remember to archive your articles. Always remember archive.is. I highly encourage it. So I did archive this article. I do recall it. And if we go and we copy the address and we put it in and we say, want to check the snapshots, fine. Here we go. And here's the same damn article, but not really, is it? By Elizabeth McMillan. Fine, fill up. There you go. So in this article, they actually do talk about the filling up. In the new article, the new and improved article, well, they removed that. They didn't want you to know about it. Usually, it seems to me, they want you to know more information as things go on, not less. This is the way things work in our wonderful world. Now, going back to the article here. Where are we at here? The documents now confirm that Gabriel Wortman, so this is a big problem. To me, what is his line? Tactical unit, Campbell refers to. One tactical unit. But what you see, what we all saw, was a shit pile of police and media everywhere. But he was already dead. But they did the photo op so that everybody could see. This is disturbing. Why are you inventing things? The document now confirms that Gabriel Wortman had an uncle who was an RCMP officer. Okay, we've spoken about this. There was actually two uncles. One, I won't talk about who they are, but one of them was removed from the force, shall we say. So, okay, that's the end of this article. And you can read the newly unredacted documents here. So I will give you the updated version of this. Also is coming in the link. Hey, McDonald, Dawn, our friend, Denture Dawn. What's happening? What's happening, Denture Dawn? I just had a question for you, actually. Yes, I have a question for you, Dawn. I would like to know how do you say that? The dissecant packages? Dissecant packages? You know, the stuff you get in beef jerky? Everybody know those? We'll get into this. Why? Do denturists use desiccant? That's how it's pronounced. God, I sound like I'm terrible with English. Yes, Alan Wardman was the other. Desiccant. What? I can't say the word. I feel like actually punching up how to pronounce something. Desiccant. Do you know Dawn, denturist Dawn, our friend, about the desiccant packages? Would denturists have any need for desiccant? Let's go over to Frank Magazine has also made a handy, let's go to the Tweety Twatters. They didn't respond to me, which I don't know why, but anyways, maybe they don't like me. That's fine. Frank, I have a subscription to your magazine, and I was very polite to you, but they didn't want to answer me. Maybe I should just cancel my subscription. Not that they would care. No, I won't, I don't think. So, let's see here. Now, we got Stephen Maher. Okay, he wrote a great article in the Maclean's magazine. That was the 7 mistakes that the RCMP made. Let's see what he's saying. Okay, he's got his thing on there. Now, reporters who spoke to Superintendent Campbell grants interviews might want to ask him about the apparent contradiction next time they have in a chat. Okay, let's see here. Superintendent Campbell said last month, recent media articles painting him as some underworld organized crime figure has been nothing uncovered whatsoever that would suggest that. Okay, so once again, we have the very, very apparent lie. Continued lying. Lying to the media, lying to you, me, and all the families. This is atrocious. This is a police force. This is what we hold in supposedly high esteem. Kids look up to these people. That's what they do. And kids read that they lie. This is not good. And that was full of contradictions. Again, also equally, that article, they slipped in the video later. Now, this was the video, the lengthy interview. I've spoken about this, I don't know how many times, but it pisses me off to no end that they had the families sitting on the edge of their seat, waiting for any kind of answers at all. And Superintendent Campbell and CBC and their lawyers and the Crown all sat around there with their cutting on the editing floor and saying, oh, we'll get it to you soon. We promise, we promise, we promise. That was the 6-hour stream I think I did that day because I was trying to find it. And that was a Wednesday, and then Thursday rolls around. I think, was that Thursday? Wednesday. I think the email came out Tuesday from the RCMP to the families. I can go back and find it. Anyway, and then they say, oh, you know, we don't really know. It's because probably they're gathering more interviews for the, quote, lengthy interview. And then Monday rolls around, and they say, oh, it's going to be on a Monday for sure. We got an article. That's what we got. An article by Elizabeth McMillan, CBC. But the original article, which I read on that Monday on the stream, it had no video. But now it has a video, 5 minutes and change long, very lengthy. And of course, Elizabeth McMillan, the only person that was allowed to talk to Darren Campbell, handpicked, just like his Toronto Star article that he had his friend write from Vancouver. Toronto Star, Vancouver. He really shopped far, coast to get the most. Are we not seeing a picture here? Be very careful of the narrative they're spinning. I think those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. This is now and has been a game of chess, very strategic chess, but it's really ramped up in the public's eye, and they are trying to divide, split people apart. Don't fall prey to it. Remember who we're looking at here and why, and the answers. That isn't going to come from a dead man. It simply will not. It has to be on the RCMP, the focus. We do need as many allies as possible. This is true, but, and I'm a guy, so I can't really, you know, make a call on this one, and everybody has to do whatever they want. But this is what they're going to do. It's very, very apparent. They've moved it from, obviously, the very constructed, carefully constructed review that they built. And now they're saying, oh, yes, but, you know, we'll also have groups organizing protests. Groups which have nothing to do with the RCMP. I frankly think, I said, you know, since I like to play this, I like to play these kinds of games of chess because I'm very used to the kind of global chess nonsense. So this is not new. I think that the women's groups, I call upon them to have rallies about the RCMP's allowing of abuse to women and suppression of evidence that resulted in the murder of a woman in Truro. How about that? I think that's good. How about the women that are getting beaten that are told, don't make a report? I've heard a lot of that. It's actually phenomenal how much I get posted from different people. I was told I couldn't talk, all these different women. And I'm like, this is scary, man. Or women that are going out with bad cops, not the good guys, the baddies. Let's see here. Let's go back to some more posts from Stephen. Superintendent Derek Cabell last month. Quote, recent media articles painting him as the same thing again, but this time from Tim Bousquet, the person who also told police that he was, quote, aware that Gabriel Wortman smuggled drugs and guns from Maine for years and a stockpile of guns. Now, I have a theory. My theory has not differentiated too much in the last while. Equally, I believe all of the other great guys that are helping us, that's Adrian, his channel and stuff like that is below. Steve, of course, Kage. I'm not sure about O'Dear. I haven't consulted them. But that Gabriel Wortman was not a CI. He was not a high-level CI. Gabriel Wortman was, in fact, a police officer. His undercover had got blown. Exactly, Nova Scotia. You've got it bang on. And I don't think that any of you who's been watching this is news. This is old news. And it's a Mr. Big operation and was running for a very long time. And Gabriel Wortman, you know, I'm going to share some pictures with you that were sent to me. And I really appreciate the person that shared them, as I do always. Now, I asked that person, they were down in the Portapique region and got some pictures that I'll share with you, which are interesting pictures. Okay, Desican, you don't know. Okay, so this is good because this leads to the picture somewhat, which we will get to, I promise. I asked this person if they had a chance to go over and visit the warehouse in on Orchard Beach Drive, because to the best of my knowledge, the number of photographs that exist of the warehouse, video, anything, post the 19th, that's a big fat zero. You have the nice car parked out there and burned out and how it's been all leveled and everything over there on 200 Portapique Beach Drive or Beach Road. You have that all very convenient for photo ops and things, but nothing of the warehouse, which is rather strange. And they didn't happen to pick up the one car. They did seem to pick up all of the other ones, to the best of my knowledge. Disappeared. I was talking about this with another person just before I hopped on here. We're missing at least 3 cruisers, 3 white Tauruses in the wind, 1 F-150, 2017, I believe, and 1 green Jeep, and 1 Mercedes, white, hers. Where did that go? Where are we missing these 6 vehicles? You towed some, but you left 1, which looks really good for photo ops. That's kind of like the signs being down with the guys standing there with the guns over a dead man. 1 tactical unit. Hey, G, what's going down, sister? Now, Tim Bousquet, the person who told the police that, quote, was aware that Gabriel Wortman smuggled drugs and from Maine and had the stockpile of guns. So he was Maine. So again, I think this is the police we're talking about with drugs. the amount of drugs and the police cases that seem to be coming to my attention that are much older and seem to be tied to this case, at least peripherally. I'm trying to find the direct associations, but names seem to keep coming up, and big names, very big names. I'm not going to specify any more than that, just because at this point in time, I have to be very careful about what I say, but I think some of you have some idea of whom I may be speaking. But there's more than one. There's a lot. And there's police associated with these. So we've got this kind of funny relationship of drug dealing and police officers. And the world and the waters get very murky, as they do with Mr. Big operations. Very murky. And it's international, this case could be. Very big international. Not just located down there in the Nova Scotia. Now, let's see what else he's got here. Tim. Thanks for the posts, Tim. So, okay, he's got his article. Now, my thoughts. There is still a lot of redacted information in the search warrants. I suspect that much of it will be just as alarming as what is released today. I've been hearing rumors for months that Gabriel Wortman was involved in drug trade. Okay, so that's not new. You guys, this is a lot of pats on backs here for all of you guys, right? You guys have been coming up with this. You guys know, right? And we know, funnily enough, ahead of maybe some people in the media. I don't want to be saying that, but true. And clearly ahead of the warrants. So good job on you, all of you. Keep those tips rolling. This ship is sinking, and it's sinking fast. And we got to help it go down, because it's unbelievable what has happened here. I've been hearing rumors for months that Gabriel Wortman, the one person's conversation doesn't confirm that, but it does seem to back up the rumors. I'll just leave it for this for the time being. There's more reporting to do on this aspect. Tim being very good hedging his bets on this one, as a reporter should. I'm going to make claims just because why not? They seem to have all come out to be true. So, Mr. Big operation running out of New Brunswick. This is why New Brunswick was involved. Mr. Wortman was in New Brunswick earlier that day. That hasn't come out necessarily. I think we may have spoken about it a couple of times. He was up there that day, up in New Brunswick. Okay. And he came back that afternoon. So, and then we've got the ticket and the car 54. The cover was being blown. The interesting thing about what the conversation that I was having with the person who very kindly sent the photos, and did so anonymously, and I totally respect that. Everybody can. It just helps. Anything at this point, anything and everything helps. Below. Join our doc squad. I sound like I'm selling something. I'm going to get paid. I don't get shit. Except sleepless nights because of this trash. But we've got a ton of people over here working really hard. Grew from what? 3 to, what are we at now? 20 plus 247 people. Pretty fucking amazing, man. Pretty amazing. I see where this is going to go too. In my mind, I can envision it. It's the Facebook people. It's the YouTube people. It's the media, the really good media, the ones that don't want to snow you. They're out there. That's the mass majority of them. They want it. They want to tell something. They want an agenda, and they're going to push it. But it's going to be these worlds meshing together, communicating, and as it should. This is good journalism, really good journalism. You know, if people aren't running around making wild accusations, it's the best of all. So hopefully we can continue on that and keep touching base with the mainstream media. Mainstream media is aware. I heard another reporter who seems to know who we are most assuredly. So this is good. Again, this is all congratulations to you. Now, the comment that the person made about the Orchard Beach warehouse. I've always been looking for certain things. The road I've got to get into one day here soon. The road, I did talk about it a little bit, but I have a bunch of other things to share on that one. The road, the orchard, down as in the field, runs parallel in the field. The supposed escape, which is a big problem for me. And I think I'm maybe getting smurfed by somebody in here. Maybe not. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, that's just crazy talk. Nobody would do that. No. The Orchard Beach warehouse. Where is it? Why do we have no pictures of it? So the comment that this person sent back to me, I was like, did you go over there? And they said they're kind of maybe associated with the story. So they said, well, everybody who's seen the warehouse is dead. And that got me thinking. If we go back to probably the first video, I believe it was the first video, and we showed the picture of the inside of the warehouse from Tara's brother. Tara's brother's Facebook page was hacked. He posted, that was his final posts. He posted some things from Gabriel Wortman's warehouse. Who knows what all was actually on there? What it remains, let's go to his page, is a picture of the motorcycle and the where is this? I don't want that page. Okay, the motorcycle and the shelving. So we were able to determine absolutely the picture was from his warehouse because of the shelving in the background, the yellow shelving. And we're like, oh yeah, no, absolutely. The picture that we have of the car is absolutely from that warehouse. And so we were able to say, yeah, for sure, that's a real photo when it first floated out on that first day, the Sunday, Monday, we did the first video. I don't remember. And yeah, his page got hacked the very next day. Convenient, isn't it? Convenient. Convert. Now, let's go to Friar Tuck. That was what Aaron liked to call himself. Friar Tuck. I think that's great. This fellow looks like he was a good time. Now, this was his old webpage, or Faceburgers, or whatever you want to call it. This is back in 2018. But here you go. December 23rd. Working in my buddy's shop today. He's got a great Honda collection. Okay. So, do the shelving units look familiar? Look familiar? So, I know, cool collection. He posts stuff on Facebook. He's dead. His family's dead. And like this person said, anybody who went to the warehouse died. Just something to keep note of. If you want a link, I'll drop a link to his page right here. There is a subsequent post, but I believe this was made by somebody else. How funny. Is it? Or maybe it was this day. And he set up, he loved the Facebook. He absolutely loves the Facebook. He was posting all over the place. And so when he lost the Faceberg, he was kind of upset. Frankly, I don't know if I'd want to upset him. He was kind of a rough and tumble dude. Looks like he'd be fun to have a couple of drinks with if I were still drinking. But and a good dad, great dad. Really loved his kids. So loved Emily. So okay, so this is interesting. Anybody who saw The Warehouse died. The Warehouse is very important. The Warehouse, which was a bar. Who all went to the bar? The ticket, which coincides with the article that Mr. Wortman went out of his way, contacted Frank magazine, said, write this article. Oh, I've chained up these people, these cops, these fucking assholes, goddamn assholes. And then he's getting a ticket out on Portapic. Same day, 1 to 15 on Portapic Beach Drive, or Road. It's a dead-end road. It's a gravel road. It's not even that long. And there's no speed associated with the ticket. Just 1 to 15. Some cops like, oh, by the way, you're speeding. How convenient that I believe it was the same day that the Red Devils Motorcycle Club was busted in Halifax. Need to double check this one, but very interesting. Was his cover getting blown? Now, let's see if we can get into these photos. I have to be careful about what I'm bringing up. I don't want to show you guys sneaky things. I've got sneaky stuff. Ace in the holes. You got to keep them, you know, because one day I'm going to pull them out. But keep them coming. So everything's got to be done strategy. And with people's permissions. Have to be very, very careful with this one. How am I going to do this? I'll do it this way. Now I also have, let's see, I should share this information too. Already. My computer's not happy. It wants to restart. It needs a restart. Is that like renew? The world needs a renew? Not the same kind of renew. Now I want to go into my phone. This tech shit, you know, I don't know about you guys, but it really pisses me off to like no end. Now, is it in the download? The downloads. Not there. Is it in this downloads? How is this sorted? Wow, I got a lot of stuff on here. That's spicy. Very spicy. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Sort by date. Let's try that. Oh, of course. Of course. I don't even have a date in here. Modified. We can do that. And we can do date authored. How about that? Okay. Then we'll sort by that. Sort by date authored. Actually, we'll do modified. Now, here's some good stuff in here. Okay, so that the we'll do this one first. These are the things that the new improved demands for the inquiry are looking for. Do you see common themes? We also have a number here, 22. 22. It's actually 23, but the lady who's organizing it kind of likes abortions, so probably doesn't include the other one. But these, again, are decisions. But I can assure you, down the line, I'm 99% sure this is not going to turn out well supporting that. Not at all. Could do some investigation or protests on RCP and women. More stuff here. Okay, so criminalized sex workers and trans and black and stuff like this. It's not about the RCMP, which is where the focus needs to be. Okay, so now it's not in there. What is this here? I have all kinds of goodies. So there is another protest coming up on Wednesday. I don't know who all is going to that. Wednesday the 29th. The provincial marching to Provincial House Ferry Terminal in Halifax. Okay. To the best of my knowledge, this is free from outside influences, shall we say. Okay, so this is really good. And if you guys have a chance, please go out and support that. Hopefully, any of you who are willing to go, I think I know a couple that are, that can stream for us on the Facebook, and we can restream it over here. So you guys can all join in and show your support. Thanks to you, all of you who came out for the last one, right? I don't even know how many people came to that. Oh, balls on you. I don't like tech. Tech just roots. 55 watching. Welcome, 56. I got to my 56. Now, the redaction, release, inquiry. Okay, it's the next video over. Joint independent review. Oh, wait, no, here it is. 659 of you. Do you see? This is good. Right? Wow. 659. Okay? That's double the amount of people that were there. Pretty awesome. That means that there were over 1,000 really there, right? Plus you've got the other ones, the watch parties and all that. This is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. It's catching on steam. Now I still need to find these photos. I suppose I can try and see if I can show them off of my phone, which is not obviously going to be anywhere near the quality, but I don't see that they're in here. There's the heavy equipment for the road. Road. Oh, here's another little video I came across. Let's do this one. Ooh, there's a name that's familiar. Let's try this one. Look familiar? There's the bar. There's the backhoe. Money. Just reeks of money. Big money. Big money. Throw a link to what? Sorry. To the. I don't have a link to the party or to the protest. Maybe somebody else does. If you don't mind throwing it out there, that would be great. Truth, what's going on? Kage. I know Kage from way back. That's from my old days. I have to be careful when I'm showing here. And this is not even going to show. We can't open that file. Okay. Probably got a virus on it or something. Are you going to say you can't open this either? You can just go F yourself. Get out of here. What is going on? Let's see. Can I open it with something else? Not even letting me open it with something. What the? Maybe I can't open them off my phone. This would be a whole bunch of balls, wouldn't it? All right, well, you're gonna have to deal with my shaky hands and my camera or my phone. Okay? Because oh, more stuff's coming in. Smuggling opioid in Maine. Of course, everybody's catching it up on the redacted warrants. There was the Frank link. I wanted to give you that too before I should do that. Shiny things. I get into the shiny things, you know. I get into the shiny things. And actually it leads very well into the pictures. So let's see, we'll go to the Frank. My other Twitter account is called Shiny Things. I like shiny things. Don't believe me? I like shiny things. I don't know. Anyway, they gave this to me. I'm surprised that they let me have another one. Frank magazine. He has a nice little chart that he put together, which is good for downloading and keeping for reference. So I will, here we go. I will put that in as well, the link to the twatters for it. Where is that? Here we go. This particular link. Okay, copy, paste. There we go. Is that right? Some of my comments are getting grabbled. Anything I type, gravel road boys. Oh, they're not happy, man. Honestly, you know, it's not tinfoil. Like, it's crazy the shit that's going on over here, and with some of you guys, I'm sure you notice, like, they're all over everything like white on rice. But that's okay, because it makes them look like assholes who are trying to bury things and truth and just good people. Like, you look really terrible. Sorry about you. So there's this nice little chart here that comes along with this, and most everything in here is fairly known and we all know about, but there is, you know, some details like the drugs, Portapique and economy, and the stuff from New Brunswick. So that's good, because we kind of been saying about the New Brunswick stuff, and the amount of pills, 10,000 OxyContin and 15,000 Dilaudid for the one smuggling thing. But there was this business about actually some of the specific, where is it here? I want one in specific. Sexual predator. Yeah, I think you dig around maybe in the FetLife, you might find some interesting things. Just saying. Where is it? The 30 by 30 deck. The 30 by 30 deck. Here we go. 19.6 in the original warrant. 19.6, quote, there is a 30 by 30 deck, and underneath it, there is a storage room. Okay. So this is going to be fun, because I have some pictures. Thank you to who sent them. I wish I could put them up. Now, okay, there's crates. There's quite a few crates, which leads to the question that I asked. I have some video too. Power supplies, NATO class. Not sure exactly what that is. Maybe you guys know. Okay, this one I found the most interesting. Hopefully it's not blurry. There we go. Okay. So I'll read it off to you. Well, here I can do it like this. How about that? I'll zoom in. Zoomy zooms on the zoomers. For the boomers, like me. Maudsley Limited. Maudsley Limited is out of the UK. It is a pharmaceutical company. Why does he have pharmaceutical boxes out of the UK? Stockton on Tees. I don't know exactly what these boxes contain. However, I don't like the idea of pharmaceuticals and Mr. Wortman in the same sentence. Doesn't seem very good. This was the other one. Now this is upside down. I don't know. Can I flip this around? I'm sure actually I can. Oops. Rotate. There we go. Like this. There we go. Awesome. Then you guys can kind of see the label. Desiccated package. This is in the 30 by 30 room. These are boxes. Lots of boxes. Lots of crates. Why do you have crates, sir? And it reeks of money. Lots of money. I wish I had a deck like that. That would be pretty sweet. Maybe I'm going to build me one, actually. With a bar and all kinds of fun stuff. And let's see here. The one car. Doesn't it look good for photo ops, eh? Or for certain people who post it all over Facebook. Same thing, just under different names. Smurfs. Okay. On my hand. I need more coffee. This is the problem. What happens? I shake when I don't have coffee. Okay. Tara also got some new video for us. She was down there. The shed. Why is the shed there? I don't have that one handy right now. Let's see about the other ones here. You have to be... See, that comment just scared me when I saw that. Anyone who saw it died. Ooh. The warehouse. Also some information about I don't know if there's anything of particular excitement in these photos other than or videos, other than the box. Looks like I've got the boxes. And how they've left things standing. Do you see how they've left the walls and everything? They had bulldozers in there. They fully fucking leveled things, but they left things for people to look at. This is the driveway. There's actually a dedicated driveway that goes down to the storage underneath the deck, 30 by 30, which was revealed. So this is very good timing that this kind of came out in the same. There's a shed. There's another shed that was left standing, and one has to wonder what the hell there is. I'll post these on the docs cord, by the way. Oops. I hope I didn't. I should be very careful, actually. Let's do... Can we do this one? So, I mean, they were in there and they fully demolished this thing, but they didn't really. They left it because in the warrant we can tell that there's walls still standing, but they had to have the heavy equipment come in. They made the application to Colchester just as they demolished everything else in this story. Wentworth, they cleaned up that scene down in the Gina Goulet's place. How long with that one? Somebody corrected me the other day. They actually had an updated time. I thought it was 13 hours, and somebody corrected me. It's actually less than that for a homicide, shooting of, 2 pets, car theft. They had that done in 13 hours. The Shub is the most disturbing one of all. That one was 13 hours. It was done between 2 and 3 in the morning. And they did come back the following day and kind of do that stupid raking and shoveling and stepping all over shit all the time, looking for stuff. Men in plain uniforms, not CSI, not a CSI crime scene. They just were wrecking the hell out of that, but they wanted to find particular things. But the 13-hour cleanup, what is the 13-hour cleanup? This is their family member, the family member, the shield. The shield's up, don't ask us questions, family member. Poor Heidi Stevenson's family, really feeling it for them. Really feeling it. Hopefully somebody can get through to them and just, help them to see that they're getting duped too, and which is horrific. Just so that the RCMP can keep their drug dealing investigations under wraps. Out of New Brunswick. Big, but this is, if I'm right on it, it's really big, like way big. Interpol, Colombia, big. And cops. Good cops, bad cops. There's a funny little game going on. What was I talking about here? 30 by 30. Drugs, guns, smuggling. Any of you who are from the Milford area, I would really, really appreciate you talking to me. I've had one person reach out to me. They confirmed what I was thinking and kind of been saying about the Exit 9. Exit 9, that area by the EHS station, was closed for 2 days. The RCMP were investigating it. Was Mr. Morrison shot there? I think so. They're not going to lie in a sworn out document, or they still do, and you can find them. But these things are sworn statements. There's perjury that's involved if you lie on it. Somebody could actually be tried, as in Angela Howerluck in this particular case, because she attests to the fact that, to the best of her knowledge, the information therein is true. And so she mentioned the Exit 9 highway near EHS Station Highway 2, which of course is Boardman is the Port of Picton. Yep, we've got all these horror stories of the bad stuff, bad news, Brown filling in tunnels. Okay, there's stuff that was. They said they never found anything. Again, I've heard some. I'm not going to get into that. I need more information to touch on that, and permission probably. So. Right, I was finishing up the bulldozing and destroying of scenes. The Shub incident. We're talking about one police officer, the family member, the one that they care about so much. That person, Mr. Weber, a carjacking, a major vehicular accident involving 2 police cars, arson, a very actually major crime scene. That's done in 13 hours. No problem. We're done here. Wentworth, you've got the backhoe, and it's literally destroying the house as the fireman is putting it out. You think that you're going to get any crime scene out of there? No. They had the guys there walking around with the boots a little bit later. That just looks stupid. Who are you fooling? Gina Goulet's place cleaned up, and all these places bulldozed. Well, except we leave one car because it looks good for the papers. We want to make sure the PR firm that we've got working for us overtime over time since 10:01 or whatever the fuck time they want to use, because I think there's up to 4 or 5 start times now for the 911 call. 4 or 5. You can't get this one even figured out. The very beginning of this incident, of course, which it isn't, right? We all know it's been going on for years, decades, this kind of trash. But the 18th incident, 19th incident, this is not even a word. What do you call this? It's horrific. You have 4 to 5 start times, 10:01, 9:30 something. I mean, they're all over the place. You don't know when you got your first 911 call. No. Because the narrative has got to be crafted on the fly. What do we do? What do we do? And it was literally going on the fly. That's why the Twitter line was conflicting. That's why they don't address certain things on the Twitter line. And particularly, I think the most fascinating one, I don't like to use that word. I don't know. The one that intrigues me the most is Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber, who is not in the warrants at all. Why? Why do they keep him out? He was a murder victim. Horrible that he died. Horrible any of these people were murdered. And by whom is still being uncovered. Right? Let's just go with Gabriel Wortman. Fine. All 100% Gabriel Wortman. Okay. Why do you not honor a person enough to say their name? Pretty sad. Pretty sad. So the Exit 9 stuff. Anybody else from Milford, I want to hear from you. I'm sure that Milford was closed. And somebody did say to me finally today, yes, I live down in Milford. It was closed for 2 days. This means that let's get the Google Earth thing going here. Because this to me is a big problem. And it fucks with their timeline a ton. If I was back in my video making days, I'd have a heyday. I've got so many videos in my head, it's not even funny. Clip after clip, bang, 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 bang. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Okay. See the updated photo. They updated the photo almost right away. Go back to the first photo, the video, and you can see there's some differences in the picture. Moving along, let's go down to let's see, there's so much information. So much stuff I have to share. I'm going to forget it all. This is the problem. Now, Milford. Shubenacadie. Jesus, am I going to get this one day? Shubenacadie. Okay, here we go. Shubenacadie, right? Milford, down here. EHS station is where? Right here. 14. If you go right here, we're in Milford, right? Everybody got that? Milford station, okay? If you go here, I'm not saying this is the exact location, but it's nearby here, and I'm going to try, and anybody who lives there, please let me know. You live there, you would know. What's over here? Oh, the EHS station. So the warrant indicates EHS station, and they say now this is in fact true. Okay? So, if that's true, I went through this ad nauseum on the video. Let's see, how do you get this turned around here? There we go. Okay? What we have is we have Mr. Wortman, who knows this area very well. Okay? He knows this area well. He drives back and forth all the time. He drives down the 102, which we're not told that he does, or he drives through Shubenacadie on the 2, and he comes down here to Milford Station just to shoot Mr. Morrison. That's the only reason. Because what does he do then? 5 minutes away, he's going to drive 5 minutes north again. And he's going to go back up to Shubenacadie. And then he's going to get in the accident over here in the fiery crash. Right? Think about it logically. Was he targeting Mr. Morrison? Mr. Morrison was sitting on the side of the road. Mr. Wortman drove around Nova Scotia all day with RCMP chasing his ass and helicopters and everything. Why would you go 5 minutes out of your way to shoot somebody? Plus, you're adding 10 minutes to the timeline. Problem. This is a problem. The full timeline, which includes every witness statement that we can find. That's every single article that you guys have that you can dig out and find the names, the times at which they heard events, because they're there. Put that in one column. Next column, you have the Twitter. The very superior. What the fuck did he call it? Very superior, very sophisticated. What a fuck nut. Very lying bag of something. Because that is how they covered their ass. Because there was something else that happened. And that was why the Twitter got bumped up from, what was it? Weapons complaint. Well, you've got bodies everywhere, mass shootings, burnings, subduings. Oh yeah, just a little mass shooting over, or sorry, weapons complaint. Until the next day. Until the very next day. And then, well, what happens? Oh, he gets out. Oh, now we're in the shit. We can't cover up our agent. No! What are we going to do? God damn it, we got to get on that Twitter line again. What? You got to tell them it was a shooting. You got to tell them their name. Everybody's going to know. Everybody knows. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The Twitter timeline is the next column. The RCMP changing timelines. 1, 2, 3. Keep going on. Bing, bing, bing. You overlay these on a map. You got the pins, the times, the events. I guarantee you, it is massively fucked up. Driving distance alone. I mean, and many of these we've gone through. The driving distance alone between, where is it? Debert and Truro. No. It doesn't take 11 minutes. What did they say, 11 minutes? I don't even know. Maybe it was less than 11 minutes. Plus, you're including the murder of 2 people in there for a 20-minute drive. What does he have? A spaceship? But don't worry. He didn't pull anybody over, right? According to Mr. Campbell. That's why his ass is getting sued. Because he lied. Again. Isn't it funny how much they lie? I don't find it funny. I find it tragic. I find it sick. I find it evil. I use that word because it is. These people don't have any good intent for anybody else. It doesn't matter who you are. Police officer? Oh, that's okay. What can we use it for? Use, manipulate, lies. Do you see the disgusting behaviors? Not apologizing, not being a stand-up person and taking blame where it's due. Not making alterations to your organization. But it's burned down. It's burned down hard. Oh, I think something happened at the warehouse. Something, people becoming aware of the warehouse and what transpired at the warehouse. Something very not supposed to be known. And look at the lengths that they'll go to for car 54 speeding ticket. Let's just see if that date is right. Red Devils, Halifax. Raid, there was a second raid also. But that's the one that's coming to my mind. Organized crime, February 27th. That's not the date. Is this article old? Okay, let's see. I stand corrected if not. Thursday afternoon. Okay, I think it was a Wednesday, the speeding ticket. Let's see, where's the speeding ticket? Let me just pull that out. Anybody know off the top of their head? I posted it in the... My memory's terrible. I know I posted it in the... Speeding ticket. Oh, come on. Fuck off. On the 12th. Okay, so 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, there's a raid. There's also the return of a man, an important man in this story, I think. And he comes back 3 weeks before this incident takes place. I'm just going to leave these things out there. People can go and farm and look around for themselves. There was also another incident. Another sighting. Anybody remember that one? Because I didn't know about it. I've tried to look around for it. But I've heard now some other things that say yes. Let's see if we can find something on it. Ooh, there's a name I see. I know I'm going to see these fucking names. I'm going to see them. Must include Londonderry. Londonderry is the place. Might want to look. There was some stuff. It's referred to in the EHS tapes, I believe. I'm going to try and get the EHS tapes done. It's a project I don't like doing videos anymore. I frankly don't. I like doing YouTube. I like being able to read what you guys write, even though it appears I don't, which is true in large part, but I like to be able to go back and read them and see what you guys think, their interaction, because that's important. RCMP would never Never, Smurf. Thanks, Todd. Todd knows. Looks like shipping crates. Absolutely. Thank you so much to that person. They know who they are. And I can't express my appreciation enough for their coming forward with stuff, because this is what we need. Stuff doesn't need to be, names don't need to be said. Even things, funnily enough, can be said off the record that are just like, hey, I think you should look at this. Somebody told me about the ticket. Look at the ticket. I'm like, well, what am I looking for? Just look at the ticket. I'm like, okay. Sure enough, they're right. Ticket. Well, they didn't say. I did ask them if it had something to do with the person on the ticket. They said, I can't tell you that. But the ticket is an important piece. I'm like, okay. The ticket and Car 54 self-reporting workman with his big explosion on the same day. Go figure. Who's the individual on the ticket? Very interesting cast of characters we got going on here. And those, if I'm right, and it doesn't matter anyways if I'm wrong, because frankly, it's true. We have policemen who are surrounded or in organizations with bad policemen, criminal policemen, child porn, drugs, trafficking, wife beating, some very not good things, murder. Why do we have these people in these organizations? What's wrong with the screening procedures? And why are they being allowed to stay once they've been convicted? Some of these people have been convicted of assault. They still just go out and work again. Apparently, the people who did the shooting down at the fire hall, well, they're back at work. About what? What did you just say? Did you just honestly say you opened fire on not only civilians, a civilian who, one of which was, funnily enough, from the Port-au-Pic area, so he'd been evacuated from a mass shooting, is now facing a shooting from the RCMP. But you also have the fireman, civilian fireman. You have an ERT individual, civilian, but you also have a RCMP officer. So they're shooting at them. Do you think they're qualified to carry guns? Who's going to make that decision? Oh, the shit. That's right. The shit. Which is all police. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're oversawn, the overseer of this organization is a judge, retired judge. 2 active policemen from the RCMP, 1 retired RCMP officer, and 1 Halifax regional police officer. Does that sound like a very independent body? Certainly doesn't to me. Certainly sounds like 80% of that is police. Certainly sounds like police toe the police line, by and large. And I get the feeling, if I'm right about what this other stuff is, policemen down there are afraid of other policemen. That's scary. There was also an article written today. I don't know if I should get into this, but let's see, or she was posting or something. And thank you to the person. I have these great conversations with people. And I work well thinking aloud. It's kind of, the brain hums a little bit, makes some smell, I think, as it goes along, but it's okay. On the other end of the phone, you can't tell. I heard that it was in the news. Let's do last Recent. Let's go by past 24 hours. New. Brand of Forbes. Okay. Nova Scotia. I haven't actually got to read the article. I've just heard about it. This is interesting. Maybe it was on a Twitter line. I didn't know she had Twitter. I've never actually looked. I know one of the people I know knows this person. I'm not trying to be derogatory upon anybody, but it's just like just trying to point out truths. Where the hell is this? Fuck you. It won't load. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? The baby. The baby, yeah, that's the one who's not counted. Sketchy New Brunswick. They don't need to be scared. No. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. Not like there aren't RCMP here in Calgary. I can assure you there's a lot. They're not very far from my place. I know where they are. Floors of them. Who cares? What are you going to do? What you going to do? Something bad to me? You don't think that might come to back and bite you in the ass? Like hard? Nobody's going to do anything. Because they can't. Sammy, what's going on? And there is a literal, very literal in the sense, army of people that aren't going to allow somebody else to get railroaded with some nonsense or beat up or something else like that. How do you think it would look? Let's just hypothetically say, how do you think it would look if suddenly, I don't know, I caught a beating? Maybe I went to jail. It wouldn't only look a little bit suspicious, but it would be the after effects of that would kind of be really good. The trial. Oh, I'm going to have fun with that one. We'll have a lot of fun with that one. My lawyers, who are on retainer, are going to have a field day. We've already talked about people to depose. Ace in the holes. That's going to be a problem. Nobody needs to be afraid, because being right and being true and being honest is right. Standing up for good policemen is right. Celebrating people who want to better themselves is right. Celebrating truth is right. Being able to give closures to families in whatever insignificant way is right. Doing what they're doing and their fucking chess games and their manipulation of people, the division that they sow, and it's going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty. That's sad. That's not a good thing. What was it for all this business about being unified? And you know, I celebrate divisiveness. Vomit word, but I like it. I like different thoughts. I like different brains. That's why I love the Discord. I don't spend a terrible amount of time in there, just because there is lots. And that person, by the way, I stand corrected. That person the other day did send me a whole pile of emails. I don't know where they went, into some special hole that I had to search using some interesting things, and I did finally find them. So they were right, and I was wrong. So I stand corrected. My apologies to them. I try to answer people back if I can. And, you know, Steve helps out a ton. Adrian helps out a ton. Steve contacts people all the time. I can't fucking talk to anybody. 4 men had connections to biker gangs arrested February to April. Yes, there was the stabbings and the stabbings also. I believe there were some biker stabbings. New Brunswick RCMP seemed to run things quite differently than Nova Scotia RCMP, even though they're the same federal unit. And Nova Scotia RCMP handle bikers differently. I mean, prior to this story, I'll be completely candid. I'd never heard of RCMP / armed forces. Oh, yes, that was the Brenda Forbes claim, which I'll get back to. The RCMP police, I think it's RCMP police armed forces, having their own biker organization, motorcycle club. I'd never heard of that before. I mean, I suppose you're riding a bike. I have no problem with people riding bikes or whatever. I mean, that's cool. You do what you do. But it just was kind of interesting. The biker culture, and I'm only becoming somewhat aware of the biker culture in down in the East Coast. Quite lots of people know bikers. Everybody seems to know a biker. Interesting stuff. Global article. Okay, let's have a look at that. Thanks, Mr. Moneypenny. 4 men with connections. Maybe there's some names I'm looking at. 2 biker gangs arrested. Brunswick. I don't think so. Okay, global. Thank you, Mr. Moneypenny. 4 men with connections to biker gangs arrested in New Brunswick. And we have the Hells Angels, which are, I think, out of Nova Scotia right now. Have they let them back in, or just recently? Police arrested 4 men in connection with ongoing investigation into outlaw motorcycle club activities in New Brunswick. The RCMP say the arrests were made between February 17th and April 9th. 3 weeks before. Ooh, the timing of some of this stuff. Edmond, Drummond, California Settlement, and Moncton. The arrests are in relation to organized crime, drugs, proceeds of crime, or money laundering, the police said in that's right, not a news conference, a news release. Very good with just typing. Arrests include 34-year-old prospect of Red Devils, 29-year-old full patch member of Red Devils, 46-year-old prospect of Hells Angels, 46-year-old full patch of Hells Angels from Club Nomads. And I'd heard about the stabbings. I don't know if anybody got any information about the stabbing. I've been a biker. I have no problem with bikers. Bikers do whatever they do. I don't like crime. I don't. Solved this yet? Yeah, you know that. Just solved it. It's just okay. What was that? Oh yeah, Brenda Bow Forbes. Okay, so she, you know, Brenda Bow Forbes. I don't. She's always kind of giving me the bit of the weirds on this one, especially after my girlfriend pointed out a couple of things. Anyway, she came out today, apparently, and she said that I think Linda McDonald retweeted it and said that she was terrified of Wortman and actually reported Wortman to her commanding officer. And the person I was on the phone with was like, that seems to be a kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, that does seem to be really weird. Like, who would ever go to their workplace and, go to your boss, your big boss, and you'd be like, you know what? I don't really like my neighbor. He's really a big problem. Your boss would be like, what the fuck are you wasting my time for? What does this have to do with your job? It has nothing to do with your job. So, of course, that makes logical sense. Nobody would do it. However, police, military have an interesting relationship. And the military down on the East Coast is quite big and has a lot of ties. I don't know. Just saying. But would you go and report somebody to your boss, your neighbor? They have this clothesline out there, not like cooler talk, water cooler talk, locker room talk, or whatever they call it. No. Reporting. Like, what is he, a federal employee? Man, derp. Take Justin down, you'll get your answers. As I saw the tweet the other night, I never actually knew that about, so like the article, Tim Bousquet's article, and excellent coverage, right? But these newspapers, I thought it was just kind of a personal preference for not naming people. Maybe I'm an ignoramus. I didn't actually see this, but I thought it was just a personal decision by the papers. I don't know if Saltwire does or not. Certain papers won't name Gabriel Wortman, nor will they show the picture of him. I didn't understand that that's actually really to do with Justin Trudeau, and he tweeted it out. Please don't do it. And also during his Kovu coughing cast or whatever telethon he's doing, the updates, the ones with the hand signing people. Okay, yeah, I think we're missing the hand signing people over in the news conferences from the RCMP, other than the why do they not have hand signing? Oh, that's right. Because everybody has closed captioning on their television, because you don't need signing. But I digress. Why do they not have the hand signing in the RCMP? Gray cells. Huh? Beth, what's going on there? Brotherhood. I like brotherhood. I like the brotherhood of man. TC. Might as well live. Yep. Might as well improve things. Because if you don't say anything, it gets worse. That isn't supposition on my part. That's not some kind of psychic fortune-telling bullshit I'm doing here. I know that to be true. You know that to be true. Doesn't matter what government you have in power. The life quality is going in the toilet and has been for a long time. So it is time to do action. Put our mouths, our money, our brains where they belong. I'm not talking, revolting or anything, even though probably one day it's going to go that way. Maybe RC have members in the Hells Angels. Maybe, like, could it be somebody maybe like Mr. Wortman? Oh, but don't worry. We have no organized connection. He had no connections to organize. What are you talking about? No, says Campbell. I see the videos. Lie. What's that? What's it like the song? Lion eyes. As he's laughing. He's laughing, and that is that clip of the where they magically inserted the lengthy interview, which is now 5 minutes long. What is it? Campbell. What is it? And it's got the stupid buzzwords. The buzzwords. They love the buzzwords. Psychopath, which hasn't been diagnosed by anybody. Not one psychologist. Not anybody who's qualified to use a DSM manual diagnosed Mr. Workman at all because he didn't have mental illness. But they throw it in the titles everywhere. Psychopath. Woman beater. Arsonist. He played with mice when he was a kid. Campbell. Interview. How about that? CBC. No, not Kim Campbell. Oh my. I had forgotten about that. I'd forgotten about that person. Oh, okay. You gotta have laughs sometimes, every once in a while. Nova Scotia gunmen liquidated assets, stockpiled gas and food due to COVID-19 fears. I need to be here in the corner. COVID-19 fears. I don't know how to sign worth of shit. RCMP. Huh? Okay. June 29th. Last updated June 29th. Oh, but they inserted the video after June 29th. That's at the bottom of the... Here it is here. With Linda. You see how many press are around? See how many press are around asking questions? Oh, that would be a 1. How long do you think he had to sit there and try and rehearse? He doesn't have notes. I wonder if he's got a teleprompter off camera. You think? I think it's possible. I should download this. Let's see.
Our world is different now. And if you're ready to get back...
Shut the fuck up. More. Oh, Fords. Ford Tauruses. Lots of them. I think the other company, by the way, is very interesting. Watch him smile.
I've
gross.
used words like senseless. I don't think that anyone can really make any sense, truly, over what he did. But what I'll say is that I do know that the worldwide pandemic, COVID, was a source of concern for the gunman.
That's right. That's right. Because he was so concerned, he was entering into new business deals. By the way, I'll just send you the email. Do you remember that? Where was that? Email. CBC got it. Business deal Wortman. There was a report. I think I have the report on my computer somewhere. From access to information. I set up the, what is that called? A-trip. The category over in the docs cord. No, that's Truro. Maybe somebody has a picture of it or something, can drop it in the docs cord. Anyway, he had he was entering into business deals because he was so paranoid about the COVID. He thought the world was ending. So he went and took out cash, but he's entering into business deals. Do you think that Cash, who nobody has access to, no confidential informant I've ever heard of, I've heard of a few, and now I've talked to a few more since this has all started, has ever had access to a Brinks facility? That's like next level. That's cop level. Real high cop level. $475,000 is a decent amount of money to buy a Coke. That would be, I don't know, 13 keys, probably. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Anyway.
And that he had done many things that would suggest that he was preparing for a number of breakdowns in infrastructure. For example, we do know that he had purchased a significant amount of gasoline. We know that he liquidated assets into the form of
huge amounts of gas.
And that he had stockpiled food. All the kinds of things
Look
that
at the
people
smile.
do if they believe that you know, regular structures, infrastructure would start to decay or collapse.
Something's
And
decaying.
he voiced concerns
Teeth?
about the pandemic, and that he wanted to be prepared in the event of things not normally working the way they normally would. And that even includes comments that he made to individuals close to him about the replica police vehicle.
Hey, Karen.
His comments were that if he needed to escape, that he wouldn't be challenged if he was driving such a vehicle. So that's included. We can't ignore those realities and those facts. These are pieces of information that were shared with us from people very close to him, and the evidence was clearly there. We've uncovered video evidence of him purchasing the gas. We know through his financial transactions that he actually did.
Be careful. Be careful. They have video evidence of you going to the gas station. If you have 2 trucks. Let me see, how many cars did he have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cars? 8 cars? 8 cars. How much do you think it costs to fill up 8 cars? Would cost $600? An SUV, a truck? A truck. Is that significant amounts of gas? Or is that just filling up your vehicles? You didn't fill it up at the big stop. Those EHS tapes, again, it's going to be putting this all side by side, mapping out where they say he is, how long the distance of travel. It's all going to fall apart. It's very, very, very crazy. 8 cars, yeah. Broman, my personal, kind of, there's some things I like, and there's some that are less interesting. The ones that they're willing to talk about quite a bit are the ones that they're okay with. Right? So what are some that they're not okay with? Well, or seemingly, they don't talk about the Atlantic Denture Clinic in the mall. Why? They want to show you pictures and everything of that one, the other one. Who are the people on these titles? Not going to name names, but they're there. Who are they? Lawyers? Well, one is. They don't want to dock somebody. If there's somebody in Dwardman's life, other than his Banfield. Where is she? Somebody has to know. Somebody has to know who knows her. Where'd she go? Oh, am I losing viewers by saying that? Oh. Yeah. He didn't have enough gas till the end. He had to go and fill it up. And they were just there. It's so insulting to one's intelligence, really, to look at what they say and they believe that you will believe. That's scary. You know you're way smarter than them. Way smarter. That's why you guys all have a problem with it. That's why all the people on the Discord have a problem with it. That's why the families are like, no, there's a problem. Just tell us what it is. We can deal with it. But if they do, they'll lose. They'll lose all their power, what they've worked so hard to get. All these shady under the carpet drug dealing nonsense, hundreds of millions of your dollars, settlements that they'll pay out billions of dollars. No problem. Doesn't matter. That's why the 400,000 thing, to me, at the end of the road, doesn't hold a lot of water. They don't give a shit, man. It's the same money. Their money, your money, fines that they're going to have to pay to the court, which is your court, your money, your... They don't care, man. Anyway, let's continue. I'm babbling.
Did those things.
In terms of the gas,
The gas.
there's also, when you're looking at that, he was purchased a large quantity of gas that he ended up,
Oh, yeah.
he said, used to burn properties.
Really?
Is the gas also being viewed as
Burn properties. 4 of them. Just raise them to the ground in 34 minutes. Unbelievable. This is some fucking super gas. This is like not even jet fuel. This is like something else. Absolutely consume homes in no time. 34 minutes. 34 minutes. Because, oh yeah, he escaped in 34 minutes. He banged on those doors, got in, the husband's beating on him, the wife's screaming. And of course, he can just drive up and down the roads, and he's flying up and down the roads with gas. Think about it. Think about it. Insulting.
evidence that he was plotting this mass murder?
So what I'd say is that if absent of COVID-19,
Oh, yes.
if you were to take those things, meaning the purchases of the gas or the construction of the mock police vehicle, taking out large significant sums of money or liquidating assets, standing by themselves, certainly they would look or appear as if someone was planning to do what actually took place. But then when you lay that over top of comments that he had made over the course of time since the pandemic started, that he was concerned about that. And I would imagine that if you were to ask individuals, just regular
Look at him smiling.
people, did you try to stockpile extra groceries?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you fill up an extra gas canister? Did you take out a little extra money from the bank?
Of course you did.
I'm going to be the first person that's going to admit I took out a little bit of extra money to have cash money on hand. I actually filled up a couple of extra gas tanks. I filled up some propane tanks.
Do you know what he's doing right there? Do you know what he's doing? Any of you who take psychology, do you know what he's doing? This is a very age-old tactic. Of course you know it's crazy. You're doing it yourself. Of course you know what I'm saying is absolute bullshit. But you have to believe it, don't you? Gaslight you. Really? He knows exactly what he's doing. We all have food, of course. Everybody did. And yes, of course, everybody bought a little bit more gas. But that means that he's a mass murderer. If you use his logic, which is very fail, I don't think he could pass first year philosophy. I used to love to take philosophy in university. If you use his logic, he is saying that anybody who bought gas and food is a mass murderer. And talked about COVID, including him. But you know, he's different. That Wortman guy, he's totally different. Dear intelligence. Sad.
You know, I personally wanted to make sure that I had things for my family, and that's not unreasonable. So again, without the COVID-19 or the pandemic, those things would be highly suspicious. But considering what's happening in our world right now, again, it's to the extreme. However,
it's to the extreme.
It appears that he did many things to the extreme.
How many vehicles do you have again? 8 vehicles. $600 worth of gas. That's just crazy, man. How much was gas? I asked that one day in the stream. How much was gas around that time? 50 some odd cents a liter, something like that. So maybe he has enough gas for one extra tank on each vehicle. Wow, that's just crazy. I got a shit pile of gas at my ranch. Does that mean I'm a serial killer, a mass murderer, and psychopathic? And he's got it. So I guess he must be a mass murderer too. Campbell, what's going on there? Yeah, maybe he got his stack of toilet paper.
I think with the necessary.
That's what he's using for fires.
Tools,
that's why all the toilet paper disappeared.
Get done.
Has investigators determined that he was planning this attack? Was it premeditated?
There's been no evidence that he was pre-planning this. Now, what I would say is that people close to him had spoken about comments that he would make. So
did he conflict himself there? He took out all kinds of money and he bought all this stuff because of the COVID, but he wasn't pre-planning. Anybody who's known him, that's a good question. Don't know. Very good question, Deborah. Frankly, I don't know. I know whose ringtone that is. Hello to you, by the way. I'm late into the stream. What is this, a news presser? No, it's just a Seamus presser. Seamus and Co. The doc squad and crew. Just going through the. Did we get anybody new join? Good to see you, Avery. Avery joined. Come on, join us. We're making headway. You can send stuff. You can look at things. Maybe you can meet a couple of people. Maybe you can engage. That was another thing I wanted to mention. Oh, here's another picture of the garage. Very good. The warehouse. Excellent. Who's digging that up? Becca. Thank you. See, there's just like awesome stuff. Who's that, I wonder? Corn joined. Thank you. Hi, Corn. Big thank you to Tim Bousquet. Yeah. Tim Bousquet, whose paper is Mr. Polanco is writing for. And he's asking the questions, and he's sitting down there at the courthouse, tweet. Gotta give this guy full props. So no, it's just going through the warrant stuff. Probably go back to Hard to hear the volume. Okay, that probably was really loud. That screaming sound. I can do like, who is that? Brenner, or what was her name? Yes, I'm the head of the RCMP for Nova Scotia. I feel really terrible about what happened. I'm going to go back in my hole now, because very important people don't hear me ever. Burp. Burp. Okay.
I would say offside comments, but
Derp.
no direct information.
The derp
that
is
someone
sketching on.
has come forward and said that they believe that he had this particular plan, that he was going to execute this plan in the way that he did, on the date and the time that he did that. No, we haven't covered anything like that at all.
So it is your understanding that investigators who've spoken with people close with him, that they thought that he was preparing because of the pandemic and nothing beyond that?
That's the information that we've been provided, yes.
The RCMP car and the decals didn't, he purchased this car some time ago before COVID started. So how do you reconcile that with that he was getting it ready?
Was that the second one?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. We've asked people why the car. Again, we're not in the mind of the individual, so we really don't know. And we do know that he had purchased police cars. I mean, they're not expensive to purchase once they've been taken out of fleet. He didn't start constructing the police car until the fall, and of course, the pandemic hadn't hit at that
Really?
time.
Please associate yourself with Mr. Walker's article. Kind of differs.
What people close to him, when they asked him about it and why, and many people knew. Many people from the community knew about that police car and that he was constructing it. Why he was doing that, and the answer was that it was to be like a
wait for it.
Representative of fallen officers.
Oh,
People
right.
know that story. But why he wanted it, needed it, decided that he was going to do it at that particular time, obviously we'll never know.
Oh, that's lengthy. Thanks, EBC. Maybe that was all he could memorize on his script. Wow. Oh, look at all the reporters. This would be like the shooting down at the gas station, basically. This is the number of people. Remember, try and correlate that in your head with what you saw. Oh, and also subtract the camera, because there wouldn't be a camera. Right? Oops. And they admitted that also in the warrants. In the redactions. Let's see here. How many lies did you get busted with today? I haven't even really started. I'm going to go through them and just start knocking them off. Plus, we already all been saying it for a long time. So what the fuck, man? Get with the times. They're slow. They're really behind. Their chess game blows. Not connected to crime. The car for fallen heroes. He loves police officers. Oh, but he threatens police officers. He locks them in their parking lot. Oh, but he loves them. He builds cars for them. Oh, he sends threats that he's going to kill them, which go all over Nova Scotia. Oh, but he loves police officers. He builds cars to honor them. What the fuck are you talking about? That's called lying? Lying? Lying Darren. Perhaps he should go and have a visit with his ex-wife. Maybe she can teach him some morality. She did it. Oh, but don't worry. She's under the bus, too, from the RCMP. They'll just throw anybody under. They don't even fucking care, man. But CBC, of course, inserts this video. Very interesting. You know? Yes, and you see how her microphone, she doesn't even have a microphone, so you can't even really hear her in the background. Like, it's just a sham. Oh, and he's got his Kovu fluid there or whatever too. What's the other shit he has sitting here? A phone holder, a computer. What is this thing here? A belt? You paid for all this, by the way. You paid for his underwear. Frankly, I think you should get a refund. What does it say on the door? Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Interview in progress. Quiet, please. So, great stuff in those redactions. Thank you very much to the person who sent those photos. Thank you. You know, we can keep it all in-house. It doesn't have to go anywhere. Nobody needs to know any names. Come and put the thumb screws to me. We can quiet. Mr. Money Penny. Lying in progress. Is there any underground bunker in Deber to work on stash cruisers? I don't know. We don't have enough information, right? I don't. I think that's just kind of one of those things that's out there. But frankly, I can tell you, even though I'm highly surprised that this much information came out, I really predicted pretty much nothing to come. So I was wrong. But I mean, I don't think it's fantastic amounts. However, they can keep pushing and keep getting more, which is good. And plus, what are we on? Group of 7. So we're 7 of at least 20 some odd. There's still 13 more to come. Better get the where is it? Better get that old Sharpie out. Time for them redactions. You paid for this, by the way, too. Well, not this one. I paid for it. RCP can borrow mine if they run short. I think I have a couple of boxes. Just so that I'm ready to redact warrants. Because I like to hide the truth. The Project Wide Awake 2.0, it is fucking crazy. Like, people think that the gravel road cops are just that, gravel road cops. These people are, the power they have is like crazy. Signet power. They have access to 5 eyes. They're a fucking intelligence unit, and they're banking your data, all of it. Everything on everybody. There's nothing that you do that's a secret. Project Wide Awake 2.0. Acquaint yourself with it. It rolled in conveniently after the shooting. People are off on the guns. Guns bad. Gun grab is bad. Idiots who use guns wrong need to be dealt with. But responsible gun owners and the crime that's associated with it. Hell, these people lose over 800 weapons. 800. And we're talking about worrying about, and what do you think that those 800 are being used for? Do you think it's being a responsible gun owner? Are you out of your mind? No, these are huge criminals that are using their weapons. Our weapons. On us. Huh? And yet they want to go after Canadian citizens. Which statistically, you look at the statistics on the gun grab. But that's for another day. But seriously, the 800 weapons, these people lose them all the time. They're going missing, big guns. They ask for bigger guns, and they lose those. And those end up in criminals' hands, and then they get used on Canadians. It'd be very interesting to see a statistic on how many police weapons have been used in homicides, robberies, etc. The stats, I think, would blow the fucking lid off of Canadian gun owners, legal ones, using guns. Seriously, I think it would. It would pale in comparison. And people would just be like shocked, right? But that wasn't the big purpose. It was what was underneath of it, which was Project Wide Awake 2.0. I call it that, Project Wide Awake 2.0. Project Wide Awake, the second variation thereof, which is much, much more invasive. And they brought that out because of the shooting. They piggybacked on the shooting. They always use these horrific events that people actually need time to grieve from to further hurt people, traumatize them. That's great. I don't have anything to hide, but I don't frankly want people having access to all my stuff. Stay the fuck out of it. It's my business. If I wanted you to come into my computer, I'd invite you into my computer. I'd invite you into my credit card statements or my watch history on my television or my GPS unit on my car. I'd say, come on in. There's nothing there. I'm sure I've watched something that's probably a little spicy here and there. But, in reality, I'm just kidding. In reality, there's nothing there. But that is the meme that they also try to sell people on. Oh, well, if you didn't do anything wrong, why, you can look at everything. Sure. But frankly, I don't want you to. There's messages that I have between my girlfriend and I'd rather remain private. Yeah. I guess if they get out, I'm sure the RCMP will want to dump something on people here. Oh, yes, we're going to scare them. We're going to put out something that they said before. Ooh, I'm terrified. But I don't want, people looking at that stuff. That's between me and my girlfriend or me and my mom or whomever, right? Just like you wouldn't want everybody looking at your stuff. But they take that data. Biggest business in this world, I'm going into sidetracks here, but the biggest businesses in this world are not oil or resources based. Used to be. It's data. Just who you are. That's the money. Facebergs, the twatters, that's why they're worth so much fucking money. Oh, well, it's a great place to share photos. Sure it is. And it's a great place to know friends. Sure it is. If it's in the right hands. This has always been in the wrong hands. This tech here, this, phones and shit. This shit, this is the worst thing that we ever got. And it's like people can't even function anymore without them. It's crazy. Leave it at home for a while. See how you feel. Lots of people are like, where's my phone? I need my phone. I sleep with my phone. I'm texting on my phone. I'm texting with people. I've seen some sad fucking things, man. Man and woman out for dinner, first date, and they're sitting there texting to each other. Like, okay. I remember the phone on the wall. You could talk to people, and sometimes you were out, and sometimes you wanted to be out. Or you could just turn your phone on silent. It's just tracking everything that you do anyway. Like, it knows literally when you sit down, right? Because there's a gyroscope inside of it. So it measures what you're doing. Measures how fast you are. Go in, look, access your Google information. Access it. Ooh, pretty spooky. You walked this distance from here to here, then you took your car, you drove from here to here. Smartphone is government's best satellite. George Carlin, I think it was George Carlin did that spiel about the phones. Here, it's going to, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. And people are being like, yeah, I'm lining up. I need the newest one. Party line. Wow. Tommy, you're old. Or you live in the country. I remember party lines too. You could have a party on the party line. My grandmother used to tell me that they would periodically just pick up the phone when they went over to the farm. They were like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, look who just hopped on. 53. Your car listens too? Everything listens. Everything listens. Oh, I turned it off. No. That's why they build batteries in. Doesn't matter if you turn it off. NSA has stacks of Seamus's love letters. Ooh. That's scary. That's scary. I'm sure my ex-girlfriends would talk about how scary that is. Lots of demand for guns south of border. Gabe like trips down there. Yeah, there's the interesting individual. So I think we even said that. The Maine guy from Maine. And he got at a car dealership. Gabe would go down to the car dealership in Maine. I have the name of the town. It's a GM dealership. There seem to be two. Anyway, but that's kind of a thing for another day. But I should just quickly review, because there was a whole bunch of shit that happened in the last day or so. Just to make sure I'm not missing something that I can talk about. Okay, there's nothing on that. Okay, we'll go to this. Okay, the Londonderry. That's something that I would suggest people dig into, is the Londonderry. The report of the Londonderry. I think it's on the EHS tapes. I don't have the EHS tapes completed in the edited, cut down versions because there's lots of dead air. Funny that. They're using tablets and using other frequencies and their phones to keep stuff off the air. But they do say some things in there that's good. So, but I would... Does anybody else remember the stuff about Londonderry? Londonderry? Ragecast starting 1 hour. Okay. Well, I'll get off. Are you telling me to get off? I'll get off when I damn well please. But no, I'm going to wrap it up anyway. I just want to make sure that I know there's a lot more stuff. Why is this big?
So
I don't want this. Go away. Okay, there you go. Now, if I do this, let's see what I've got in the private messages. In the private messages. Oh, I've got a friend request. Somebody wants to be my friend. Greg. Greg's now my friend. Hey, Greg. How's it going? Now, where's the private messages? That one's got lots. Okay. Okay, can't talk about that. Interesting, though. Okay, that was already posted. Red Devils. Okay. Got the channels. Somebody's going back. This was an awesome idea. Oh, right. That. Please. There is a category I set up, and it's called possible access to information requests. So I'm going to look into certain things to make requests on, because the Deep Throat said keep pushing and do the access to information requests. So if you guys have any ideas on what may be a good idea, you have to be very, very careful with the wording. But if you have any thoughts and ideas, so I had like emails down there. Somebody suggested that to me. Awesome idea. Text messages, another suggestion, I believe. And what was the other one? Prior reports of Wortmans, prior dealings with Wortmans. So, you know, and then you can make requests of specific departments and things like that. So it's not just a trip, I think it's referred to, a trip, which is the federal one. You can also do the local ones. And everybody can do these things. I'm definitely going to say to you that they're not going to get lots of juicy things, because it's not like they stop using the what is this? I think this is how they write. They use these. Oh, that's right. No, they scribble things out with it. Or they have a very bad blotter. So please put those in to there. That would be fantastic. Maybe we can fire off a couple of requests. That would be really great. Okay, some picture stuff. Okay. Okay, nobody's seen the warehouse. Very interesting, of course. The names of, okay, that's not going to be helpful. The power outage. I've heard about this power outage business. Not too sure about the power outage. One cop accidentally... What is this? Prince Edward Island. What does that mean? Where's that going? No charges against Summerside police officers in fatal shooting. I don't want to dig around too much in other cases, plus there are ongoing investigations. But there is, you know, obviously a problem with the shooting stuff. For the figure 8. Did he have passports? Yeah, that's a good one. When filing FOIA, start with something simple like Campbell's diaper size. Okay. I'll let you pay for that one. How's that? I don't think. Okay, and then I'll just review my emails and messages, and then we're good to go. And I'll try and look at your comments as we're doing that too. Okay, primary. Oh, I got 2 new emails. Which they don't want to show me. Okay. Somebody is going down, and that was a really good idea. They went down, and I think I spoke about this the other day, but they're using the like university library and the public library system in Nova Scotia, and they're actually going back and looking at the hard copies, like, you know, remember the things that we used to get, like the actual newspapers. And so those don't have the new and updated stuff. So sometimes the information in those, so, you know, I really appreciate that person who's doing that, because I know it's a lot of work, and they're literally going through and digging up papers and reading them. That's pretty amazing. Do you already go over this? Please keep up the great work. I wear my own badge of guilt. What is this? Oh yes, I do need to talk to this person. Momager 26. Maybe they're watching. They can contact me. Otherwise, I'll try and find them. Okay. Okay, here, picture time. Can you tell me who somebody is? Maybe somebody knows. Did they unredact how many times Morrison was shot? I have to go through that. This individual, it's very grainy. Apologize. Anybody who has any really good photo skills and you're not a Smurf, RCMP, love to hear from you. Anybody know who this individual is? He doesn't really strike me as plainclothes policeman, but he is. I think he's undercover. Name that. Can you get FOIA on Mark Furry's car? No, I don't think they would permit that. But it'd be interesting because even I think there'd be like little tidbits, just sewing the little pieces together. Of course, I don't remember everything, but don't know if I can talk about that. Please say special prayers for Steve. I'm not going to get into why, but got to be there for our friends, right? And Steve's been pulling awful hard, as has everybody, and he maybe could use some prayers. If you're into that kind of thing. Otherwise, just send him some good love. That would be very appreciated. Okay, that's the end of the messages, end of emails, end of things on the docs cord. I know there are things, but I can't go there right now. So we will wrap it up there. And we'll say Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris? I don't know. Does he look like Chuck Norris? It's an interesting cat. Anybody? Yeah. See, these are the kinds of things. If we had like a person who was good with the photos, cleaning up photos. I used to have Photoshop. I paid a lot of money for it, and I would never use it. So it was a complete waste of money. So of course I stopped paying for it, and then now, even though I don't know how to use it, could really use it. I think because you can use Photoshop a little bit to clean up photos. But there are people who can clean up some crazy things. But see that picture, I'd like to know if that car is from New Brunswick, right? How many of these cars that were running around were they weren't RCMP cars, as in they were undercover cars, were from New Brunswick. As in, I don't know, Wortman's bosses. That guy kind of looked like somebody who worked with Wortman. Anyways, thanks very much. Is that the photographer? Who? The Chuck Norris? The Chuck Norris? No, he's not the photographer. Oh, at the car. No, I don't think so. See, I can't. Where is this? In relation to the pump. If this is on the video with the guys, and that video is kind of an interesting watch anyway. If you watch it kind of over and over, you can pick up some details, like people don't really seem to care. They're walking around. And you got this guy, and he's like, "Oh my God, they're shooting people everywhere," Oh, that's an interesting one. Of course, anybody who lives around these areas, I hope to hear from them. Somebody from Enfield reached out, and didn't reach out, but did respond. And they said that they never heard the gunshots, but it could have been that their garage blocked it out, but they look out onto it. And they said that it took place What time was it? 20 minutes to half an hour before. So about 10:50, which would be a real big problem because at 10:50 he's supposed to be up in Milford or Shuby or Milford prior to the Shuby incident, because that's around about the time that Mr. Morrison supposedly is shot. And then on top of that, we also have Heidi Stevenson, the fiery crash, and then Gina Goulet. But he's down in Enfield. Hopefully more people will come forward. We absolutely need this. Like even the smallest little data, or you don't want to be specific about it. You can say something like, I think this would be something good to look at. Okay. That's a start. That's a start. Possibly as a photographer. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's wearing the same jacket or something. I have to look at it a little bit more clearly. But anyway, I do hope that you have a great day. I've been on for a long time, and Raging's on. Go check that out if you're interested. And that's can be good times for sure. And so thanks very much for stopping by. Continue the hard work, please. If you can show up on Wednesday and support those families, awesome. If you're going to go, please contact me. I will try and stream it Wednesday. I can stream it. So, and that would be good because then we can all participate. And God bless and have a great day.